Hello, my name is Supawadee Jaijon. I am an MA student at Thammasat University. Today I'm going to present my research paper with the title Effects of Topic Familiarity on Critical Thinking of Thai Secondary Students at Different Writing Abilities. Critical thinking is one of a main goal in education. It is the ability in reflecting one's thoughts with careful consideration to justify or deny a belief. Accordingly, it is usually identified with argumentative skills. To explore students' critical thinking ability, previous studies found that it positively correlates with students' argumentative writing performances. Previous research also pointed out that language proficiency also plays a role in students' critical thinking, but mainly focus on the comparison of the native and second languages. It still lacks the investigation on the effect of second language proficiency levels. Another interesting factor is topic familiarity. The positive effect of familiar topics toward the content production was confirmed by these previous studies. However, some research found that some essays may contain all argumentative elements but could be formed with poor reasoning. As the surface structure and the quality of arguments could be incompatible, this study then explores first, the impacts of topic familiarity on the quality of the arguments formed by students at each English writing abilities, and second, the effects of topic familiarity on the complexity of students' argumentation. The research questions and hypotheses were proposed accordingly. First, does a familiar topic contribute to higher scores of arguments formed by students regardless of their writing ability? And the alternative hypothesis proposed that the scores on the topic with more familiarity should show higher than those on the unfamiliar topic. And the second research question, what are the effects of topic familiarity on the complexity of argumentation? The participants of this study are 37 Thai students studying in grade 9 at a private bilingual school in Thailand. They are divided into 3 groups in accordance with the CAT test scores in the writing section. It is undeniable that the familiarity of the writing convention also plays a major role in students' writing performance. Accordingly, the participants in this study were provided the intensive instruction and thus a pre-experimental design. The one group pre-test, post-test design was employed. However, the design of this study differs slightly from the standard of this approach, which explores the effect of the treatment. In the current study, the topic familiarity is the independent variable. The 2 essays on different topics composed on each phase were analyzed the effect of topic familiarity. The results before and after instruction were later compared to detect some consistency. And during one teaching stage, the participants were introduced to the key argumentative elements through the modified two-mean model and the Stapleton and Booth scoring rubric for argumentative writing, which were the research instruments for analyzing data of this study. The modified two-mean model consists of 6 key argumentative elements as presented here. Another research instrument is the Stapleton and Booth scoring rubric. It was developed from the previous model to evaluate the quality of the argument. To investigate the scores or quality of arguments, the students' essays were coded the modified two-mean elements and rated in according to the scoring rubric. The pair samples t-test on SPSS program was later applied to measure if there is a significant difference on the mean scores. The one-tailed significant value or the p-value less than 0.05 confirms a significant difference, while the p-value higher than 0.05 shows an insignificant difference. To explore the results on the argument complexity, the coded elements were reanalyzed, considering types and numbers of elements likely used by students in each level in response to different topics. The tendency was calculated in percentage. Regarding the quality of arguments, the results on three groups are the same, since our calculated p-value of each group in each stage exceeds the significant level 0.05. There is no significant difference on the mean scores of familiar and unfamiliar topics in any stage or any groups. In conclusion, the results from students at all levels fails to reject the null hypothesis, and hence the alternative hypothesis is not supported. The familiar topic does not encourage higher scores of the arguments. Regarding the complexity of arguments, in general, students tend to state their claim and support it with data as the typical construction of a persuasive argument. Accordingly, the use of the two elements claim and data suggests the use of basic elements, while 3 to 6 elements indicate the adoption of counterargument and rebuttal elements serving as secondary elements that strengthen arguments and show more complexity. For the high-rating ability students, they tended to show more complex argument on the unfamiliar topic before instruction, but they form more complex argument on the familiar topic after instruction due to the higher percentage on secondary element adoption. Similar to the moderate group, most students were likely to build more complex arguments on the unfamiliar topic before instruction, but tended to form more complex essay on the familiar topic after teaching. For the low rating ability students, the degrees of complexity of the arguments on familiar and unfamiliar topics are not apparently different before instruction. However, they form more complex arguments on the familiar topic after instruction. The finding could be concluded that before instruction, the high and moderate student tend to show more complex argumentation on the unfamiliar topic, while the results on the low ability group were not outstandingly different. However, after instruction, the students at all levels tend to build more complex arguments on the familiar topic. The results reveal that the familiar topics seem to encourage the complexity of argumentation, but do not have significant impact on the quality of arguments. The fact that the familiar topics correlate with the writer's prior knowledge or the background knowledge might cause a beneficial impact. As Holland stated, that writer's content knowledge is a key for effective writing, and it is also the base for the higher order thinking skills. Moreover, familiar topics also encourage writers to think as insiders who concern the given topics as a problem. Nevertheless, there could be a drawback of familiar topics that they could lure writers to become too emotionally engaged in the subjects and pay less attention to the writing process. This may explain the findings from the pre-teaching phase of the study. However, the familiarity of the topics does not seem to encourage higher quality of arguments or writers' listening ability at all. Previous studies suggest that it needs effort and time to cultivate, so the 3-period training time may be too short for nurturing the students' listening ability in the current study.